Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to Stacking Stupid. Thank you guys for popping in and checking out this weekly content. Today, we are going to talk about something that's really important to me. The topic is going to be equality, and to be a little bit more specific, equality of opportunity. And we need to frame up a tiny bit, take a moment, and talk about equality of opportunity versus equality of outcome. There's probably a lot better people who have discussed the difference between the two, but I think we need to delve a little splash into explaining. So what I position is that we want equality of opportunity, okay? Equality of opportunity would be, everybody has an option to get that good job or to get an education, okay? Equality of outcome would look like all jobs are the same or all jobs pay the same. And there's probably people who have already discussed this. I know Tim Pool actually just did a conversation with Joe Rogan probably like 2 weeks ago. But like Jordan Peterson, the Weinsteins, people way smarter than me have discussed this already. So if you wanted to learn more about that, feel free to look into it. But the short version is equality of outcome is not obtainable. It's a stupid target. Okay? The short version again of why it's going to fail is there's too much subjectivity in the grading because everybody's opinion on what's important or what the outcome should be is different. So you can't, everybody has a different opinion. And also, there's too many variables. The variables are literally infinity, okay? So those two things make it completely worthless to even target and try, okay? But equality of opportunity is really important. And I know most of the people here in the States, even if it's just, on the surface, believe in that, equality of opportunity, okay? So hopefully you're with me so far. Now, I want to tie this back into the video, and you can check it out in my previous videos with wealth, okay? So what we're really seeing is wealth completely changes your opportunities. And that's, it's a huge systemic problem. And it's the underlying, or at least definitely a big component of the underlying motivation behind this equality gap that you were seeing between the wealthy and super wealthy versus the middle class and the lower class. And of course the middle class, I feel, and the data that I've seen is eroding. So really you're just talking about that polarization of poor people and rich people. Okay, so if we believe in a great target is to get as close as we can to move towards quality of opportunity, then we got to go, okay, well how does wealth affect this? All right, so I challenge you to go on this little journey. We're going to do a little kind of like a story and deep dive here where we really look at what wealth could do to impact and affect opportunity. Okay, so let's say I have $1 bajillion. Okay, that's a placeholder for a lot of money. But if you wanted a real number, billion, trillion, whatever, I'm Jeff Bezos. Okay, I'm not. So first, at a very young age, you would have the best chance for we'll kind of look at it as your children. Okay, so you would have the best medical and stuff both from childbirth on for your children. Okay, so if there were any complications, they would get the best attention and they would come out of it in the best chance of being normal or exceptional. Okay, whether that be things like playing music in the womb, or there was a complication in childbirth, or maybe there was a genetic defect, and they got treated for it. So right there, from the very beginning, you've got the best chance. And compare that to somebody who's poor, couldn't do that. You're already ahead of the game. But that's, small potatoes. So then you go into the developmental stages, okay? And whether, here's a great one that people don't think of. If you had enough money where you, or at least one of the parents, could stay home and love your child, okay, that's going to have a huge impact on their development. So now you go, oh, I didn't think about that. So then you got the poor people, the poorer people, where both mom and dad are working. okay? And I do think that we've seen some improvements, not across the board. It's definitely not every case, but in general, in our child care. You know, I think the services are getting better and providing more things and providing more stimulus and education and just a more well-rounded experience. But it would still be stronger if you had that parental connection and you had value in both of those chambers, okay? And one was just a supplemental tool when needed, all right? Makes sense? Okay, so let's go on to the next step. So now you're into schooling. And this is a big topic right now, you know, private schooling versus public schooling. Is our public schooling system failing us? You know, the more money people will go to private schools and better private schools. But you can only do that if you have unlimited funds or definitely not poor. So then you go, all right, well, what if, you know, person A and person B, and that rich person we'll use as A, just has a better schooling? Well, if you look at the data, the amount of opportunity that's going to be available to them is insanely better. Insane. Okay? It's all about the education and the knowledge, and that's going to set you up for every step of success going forward. So, wow, that's not equal at all. So money, better education. Okay. And by the way, that's an organic system, so you can't just, it's not about the school, because if this school stops being the best school, the rich person could just put you in a different school or buy the school or move, you know, whatever they need to do, they can get it done. They can solve that problem. All right, so let's continue on. Let's look at some of the things. You know, the research suggests that if you're considered good looking, okay, your chance of success and being treated well advantageously is high. Okay, it's, you know, it matters. So then you're like, wait, if I had unlimited money, you know, I could pay for a better haircut. I could maybe get my eyebrows done. I could pay for liposuction or pay for a trainer. Okay, you know, really just think about like all the stuff you see coming out of like Hollywood. You know, do you think you would be in better shape and look better if you had you know, a full-time trainer? You know, Henry Cavill or Mel Gibson or Brad Pitt in Fight Club, you know, I don't know, like it's nuts, you know. Of course you would look better. Maybe you wouldn't look like them, but you would look better than you do now if you had a professional telling you things and steering you in the right direction. If same thing, we'll still on that physical appearance, right? So you could buy better clothes, and some people, not all people, but some people are affected by the status of an expensive watch or, you know, that $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 suit, you know. And the people that it is going to influence are going to treat you better. Okay, so you can just buy influence, and that's nothing new. The extension of that, which I think also needs to be talked about, is things that we don't always think about. Like you could pay a cook, you know, to cook for your, you know, healthy meals for your household. If you think, you know, McDonald's, Burger King, the dollar menu, the advent of the dollar menu, and all the bad things, the sad diet, sad American diet, and the damage that, you know, it could be causing. You know, I'm not going to delve into my opinion on that in this video, but you could circumvent it. Okay, what are some other things? Well, actually, flat out, if you had a lot of money, you could just buy opportunities. Okay, you could just bribe people. In addition, you could build. I see this a lot with kind of like that middle upper class. You know, you own a high-end restaurant or a chain of high-end restaurants, and you just hire your son. Now your son, like whether he deserved a great shot, he's now a manager of, you know, or a district manager of 3 restaurants. You know, it had nothing to do with his performance. It had to do with his family. Okay, so that is not a quality of opportunity. And what I want to kind of drive home is the amount that money can skew that opportunity. So there's no way that I really see that you could talk about this huge wealth gap, support a wealth gap, do nothing about a wealth gap, and at the same time support freedom of opportunity and equality of that opportunity. Okay, so hopefully, you know, please, by the way, chime in the comments and let me know what your thoughts are on that going forward. I think we need to address that. It's part of that wealth topic But I do, if you agree with me that target, quality of opportunity or to get closer to that is what we need, well, then we have to understand and accept how the wealth gap and disparity destroys that. It completely destroys it. There's no chance you can just buy opportunity, period. And I know that's not a new thing, but it has to be part of that discussion, okay, if we want to create a new way forward. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Like I said, please chime down in the comments if you want to talk about something else, or even just your own opinions and thoughts. Feel free to check out my other videos. More content is going to keep coming out, and it's all kind of tied together, at least this original story arc. So stay tuned, and see you guys all soon, man.